As you all know, today will be the day that everyone has to basically present their presentations. So you can just advise which groups are ready to go first, and they have all their group members right now available in class, so we can start with them. Yes, Mr. Javi.
Are in one group and we are ready to do the presentation.
Okay, that's perfect. So I'm just gonna make you the presenter right now. So,
okay.
Okay, so now you're the presenter and you can just start.
Sir, can you see the slide?
No, not yet. I don't see the slides. Okay, now it's coming, I guess. Yes, now it's coming. So whenever you're going to start, just let me know in advance so I can just start your timing.
Okay, so I'm ready to do the presentation and RF is as well.
Okay,
so,
great. So your 10 minutes will start right now, so go ahead.
Why the texts do not appear? I see the blank presentation here.
Yes, unfortunately. Okay, you wanna do you want to upload it again? Perhaps maybe it'll be fixed. Because I just see the blank. Is your file okay? I mean, can you see it yourself?
Yes, I cannot see it's blank, but the file is okay.
Okay, that's very strange. So maybe you want to take it off and just upload it again.
Okay. Is it coming now?
No, I just see the blank slide again. Can you move to your next slide? I want to see if the next slides are okay or not. Okay, great. So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, sir. So Arif and I went through the lectures provided on the virtual classes and reviewed the presentations, and we found it a good point to select joint venture as the topic of our presentation. So the work breakdown report, I already sent it, which indicates how the group members, myself and RF, contributed in making and finalizing the presentation. So it is only me and RF in this group. I have a brief information on the joint venture itself and the reference we have taken from the virtual classes, the presentations and the materials provided, and from a personal reflection of opinion on an essay from Wikipedia. A joint venture, as obvious from its name, is a business agreement which the parties agree to develop for a finite time, a new entity and new assets by contributing equity. So a joint venture is used as a useful tool in the foreign direct investment, FDI, which involves ownership and control of foreign assets, where partners set up a new entity for the purpose of market entry. In a joint venture, the groups or a group of more than 1 or 2 people come together, establish a joint venture. They first aim to have an entry point to the market in order to further develop their business and grow it globally. The parties exercise control over the enterprise and consequently share revenues, expenses, and assets. The term joint venture is an elusive legal concept in European law. It is also variously translated in different parts of the world, as in France, association the enterprise, and in Germany it is better represented as a combination of companies. So some major joint ventures include Dow Corning, Miller Coors, Sony Electronics, Penn Frank Leasing, and so on. So as we see, the joint venture comes under the FDI, which is an important mode of globalization. Given that joint venture means a business arrangement in which parties agree to pool resources for the purpose of accomplishing projects, RF and I have decided to establish a joint venture and implement a project funded by United States Agency for International Development. The project is a fresh one named Empowering Children Fight Against Poverty. The reason behind the selection of this topic is mainly related to our decision that we establish a joint venture with the aim to do an entry to the donor agency to get funding and implement projects. In this joint venture, each of us are responsible for profits, losses, and assets associated with the joint venture or the enterprise. However, the venture is its own entity, separate and apart from any other business interests of ourselves. There are many reasons, as I just indicated, behind the decision we have made to choose joint venture as the topic of our discussion and to establish one to implement the aforementioned enterprise. One of the reasons are that we have concluded that the outcome of a joint venture was very promising towards business development, which is the result of a study we undertook on the Central Valley joint venture. RF and I did a research and a study on an available joint venture, studied its resources, how it was promising, how the organization was developed, how the stakeholders developed, and so on. So the study we conducted on the Central Valley joint venture shows that the Central Valley joint venture was a self-directed coalition consisting of 21 state and federal agencies, private conservation organizations and one corporation, established in 1988 as a regional partnership for focusing on the conservation of waterfall and waterlands under the North America Waterfalls Management Plan. It has since broadened its focus to conservation on habitats for other birds, consistent with major national and international bird conservation plans and the North American Bird Conservation Initiative. So later on, the company, the joint venture, developed its first strategy document named the Central Valley Habitat Joint Venture Implementation Plan, which was done in 1990, where the plan was updated in 2006. Actually, this part of the research indicated that how to establish the joint venture, we develop our strategic document or a strategic plan, which should conclude everything, including implementation of profit projects, non-for-profit projects, shelter, legal services, and so on. So, which means that we will take into account all the aspects that we do not need, that we will not need to update the strategic document in few months or years. So now we discuss about the outcome and how it contributes, how the study we undertook contributes towards establishing the joint venture we are aiming to receive funding to implement the project. So we, RF and I, will establish a joint venture and pool our resources to successfully accomplish the target set by the donor agency. We look into current experiences and take useful materials and information on how to move forward and avoid waste of resources, mainly time, money, and the mankind, which are the most beneficial and crucial resources of an organization. The experience of the Central Valley Joint Venture gave us the true understanding on developing our strategy, which is an important part of the business, and make sure it's in line with the donor agency's policies and procedures, Afghanistan government's law, and it contains general aspects of the policy. So we also learned a lot of things, like we should not only focus on this project while develop the strategic document, while thinking broader and include other available projects we can get to implement, such as construction of shelter, provision of legal services, consultancy services, and so on. The outcome of the study is very vital to the future of the business, as we believe we can do more using the experience of the Central Valley Joint Venture. We are optimistic in achieving the goal with success and continue in the longer future, as the study showed that the Central Valley Joint Venture partnership has earned an impressive record of accomplishment since its inception in 1988 and is making tremendous progress towards meeting the objectives identified in its 2006 implementation plan. We have noted that there are several aspects behind success that the Central Valley Joint Venture has obtained. Briefly on some of them. The things that caused the CV joint venture move successfully and achieve the objectives and the goals was that they had a strong management board, a steering committee, lands committee, legislative affairs committee, a technical committee, and other managerial capabilities. I don't know how time allows me to go through each explanation of each committee and the board. If I have time, sir, I can go ahead.
Well, you have 1 more minute. Of course, as I said, you have approximately, like, let's say 10% up and down, so it's okay to some extent. But please try not to exceed much from your 10 minutes.
Sure. Okay. So a brief discussion on the management board, the steering committee, and launch committee. The study showed that the Central Valley Joint Venture Management Board is comprised of representatives from agencies, conservation groups, and corporations that form the joint venture partnership. So taking this into consideration, both RF and I would like to have representatives from different organizations, both non-for-profit, non-governmental, and governmental organizations, to be part of the board of management committee of the joint venture we established. So the steering committee provide a forum for representatives of the management board and the joint venture committee to share information in a timely manner. This is also another aspect we strongly take into consideration while developing the policy and the strategic document. The land committee, it differs. We will establish committees like this, but not exactly the land committee, as we do not attempt to go for shelter or construction or livelihood projects for the time being, but we take this into consideration. The committee will plan, coordinate, and oversee the joint ventures protection and restoration activities in support of those state objectives. So having a legislative affairs and technical committee is very crucial to the joint venture we're going to establish. The legislative affairs will develop institution support to the joint venture objectives and to draft and monitor legislations, liaison with the government entities, liaise with donor agencies, and better monitoring the performance. So the technical committee is also one of the main points we take into consideration in establishing the joint ventures, which provide broad scientific support to the joint venture. So the water committee is more or less not related to what we attempt to do in the joint venture we establish, but we will have something similar to this. A committee, something similar to that. So at the conclusion, both RF and I are very thankful to the WWS, to the materials provided, to the lecture delivered by Your Excellency, which gave us a broader understanding of the modes of globalization, together with other informative aspects of the international business, which I believe have been beneficial to all of us, not only me and RF, but to all of the student fellows we have in this class, through which we now have a broader vision on the way forward to establish, consult, and run a business. So both myself and RF have tried to use the resources that have been made available to us through virtual classes to accomplish this assignment, which we very much hope that it is of what is expected from us. I think that's it. Help comes from God.
Okay, thank you very much. And sorry, just 1 second. Okay, so does anyone have any questions from your colleague regarding the presentation which he just had? Okay, Mr. George, I'm going to ask you some questions which I would appreciate if you can answer me regarding the presentation which you had. Well, if as you well know, the purpose of this basically presentation was to get a clear understanding of the different modes of globalization, and to come up with and the reason why I said I want you to come up with an example is to see in practice how that specific company or organization which you have chosen has become a role model basically in that field which you have chosen. Like for example, in your case, which you have taken joint venture, I want to understand why you have chosen this basically joint venture as your example to elaborate on. So I'm just going to start my questions, and then in the meantime, if anyone else has any questions, they can just simply write it down, and then you can get back to them and address the questions. However, my question would be that first of all, why did you choose choose this company? I mean, this joint venture.
Sir, as we all know, as we recently got the broader picture of what is a joint venture in my understanding in RFs, and through the long discussions we had over Skype, telephone, and video conferencing, we want to start something in a situation or in a time where a lot of development have been made with the organizations, with the business, and it will be something we enter newly to the market. So we just thought, how do we present ourselves to the market in order to attract attention of the donor community and get a broader information of what is going on in today's business, in the market, in Afghanistan, and in the globe at all. So the result of our consultation and meeting and discussions with RF and other friends was that let's start with a joint venture, because joint venture in my understanding is an entry point to the business, to the market, or in other words, in the Afghanistan context, it is an entry point to the donor agency or the donor community to obtain projects. That is why we decided to start a joint venture and establish it run it very successfully in order to obtain projects, implement the project, and show our ability to the donor community and to the market for both not-for-profit organizations and for-profit organizations, and to present ourselves and show our abilities and capabilities to run this project successfully. This will be an entry point to us to obtain bigger projects from donor community and implement. So in the longer run, we will either remain with the joint venture or change it to another type of business.
Okay, so I guess you just answered my next question, which I was just going to ask. So basically, you're trying to tell me that this is a joint venture that in reality you are working in, right?
That's true.
Okay. So thank you very much. I will, of course, for giving you the final mark. I will need to go over the slides. I mean, for the whole class, I will need to go again in details, and considering the notes that I have taken during the presentation, and okay, that's pretty much it. One of your colleagues is, yes, tell me.
Sir, this morning I sent you the statement of and the presentation was sent to you sometime 1 hour ago. So you have the original presentation with you in your email and the statement.
Yes.
So,
Yes, exactly. I believe I received it from all the groups, I hope, and because every group, they already sent me the files, and as I said, I need to, because the ones who sent me earlier, I just try to look and have a quick review over the slides and just come up with any comments that I thought that they can improve their presentation. But I did not go that much into detail in order to be able to give to be giving a fair mark. So, which I will do that, and hopefully by the next week, you will all have your remarks. Okay, thank you very much. Just one of your other colleagues, he was just asking for the advantages and disadvantages of joint venture, which I want you to reply very quickly. You don't need to elaborate so much on this.
Okay, the advantages and the disadvantages. In the context of in the context of Afghanistan, for the joint venture and the purpose we are establishing the joint venture, we see a lot of advantages. One of the advantages is that we make an entry to the market, to the donor community. I don't see any disadvantage for the time being. A major one to elaborate on.
Of course, maybe a disadvantage of it would be that I'm just going to add this to your information. It would be that each of the individual companies that are joining the joint venture, they don't have the open hand as they would if they wanted to do their work individually. So basically, they will have to get along with one another, and to some extent, they have to limit their power.
Exactly.
And, okay, so thank you very much. And so we're just going to move on to the to our next group, which at the beginning of the session it was Mr. Abdul Khabir, who they requested to go second. So I'm just going to respect that, and so they can go second. And after them, Mr. Nasrat Wali's group, and hopefully we will continue with the rest of the class. So I'm not sure if Mr. Mustafa Ghafwari will be giving the presentation or Mr. Abdul Khadir Khan. I'm not sure. Okay, so it'll be Mr. Khadir. Okay, great. So I'm going to make him the presenter right now. Ms. Nadia, actually, frankly, before you requested for your turn, this group and the next group, Mr. Nasrat Wali, they requested, so you guys can probably go for the fourth. So doesn't really matter anyhow. We're just gonna be finishing it in this session. So. Mr. Abdul, can you please just take this off from the full page so I can have the list of the class and the chat box as well? Uh, well, it's still the same.
Can you hear me, sir?
Good evening, but please, I'm still having the problem with viewing your slide. I can see it, but it's like full page. You're sharing your desktop. If you can only share the slides, that will be perfect. So I can just have the list of the class as well.
Sir, can you hear me now? Can you see the
I
slide?
can hear you. I can hear you, and I can see the slides. But there's one problem. And the problem is, as I said, you are sharing your desktop. I just want you to share your slides. That's it. I can hear you perfectly fine. Let me just take the host from you. I'll give it back to you, and only put the slides, please. Don't share your screen.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, so you're the presenter right now, and simply you can go to share and share the file. Just share the file and upload the file. That's it. Yes, I can see it. Okay. So please start.
Okay, sir. Before I start, I wanted to say that this presentation was prepared by our team, and me and Obaidullah were supposed to present. However, I would go through the whole presentation, and then I will have Mr. Obaid and Mr. Ghafari help out when I need it. Can I start now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, respected sir, dear colleagues, classmates, with your permission, our today's presentation is under the topic of franchises. You see here an outline for today's presentation, and our first slide is about introducing franchising. I would like to mention that franchising or franchisee is actually a right given to an individual or a group, so he or that group can market its goods, or a company can market its goods or services within a certain location. We can also say that it could be usage of companies or another companies or firms' successful business model which they have established. Here I can simply say that franchising is a legal MOU or agreement between two independent groups that they can take benefit of each other in the business. Terms for franchising, actually, here I would say that we have franchisee where they give the privilege in the contract, the privilege conveyed in the franchise contract. Franchise actually mean the privilege or right here. Then we have franchisee contract. I'll probably explain that as soon I explain who franchisee and who franchiser are. As you know that franchisor is actually the company who gives or allow others the franchising right, and franchisee is the company who get or receive that right, who got the franchising agreement. And here the franchisee contract is now actually the MOU or the agreement between the franchisor and franchisee, which include the terms and conditions that the franchisee has to obey for being a franchise. History of franchise, it has a great history. Many believe that Albert Singer, he was a founder for this. However, it started in 1850s. It is an ancient French model. It's also said that Isaac M. Singh, who lived in 1811 to 1825, he got credit for the first time to start a modern use of franchising in US. However, as mentioned before, that the word is taken from French language, and it French language and franchise means free in that language. On franchisee types, I would probably talk about the main three types that are that you guys can see in the slides. We have product distribution franchise. In product distribution franchise, actually, it is to sell the franchisor product, and the franchisor here give a license and allow and permit the franchisee to use its trademark and logo. The second type, which is also very famous, that's business format franchise, and in this type of franchise, franchisor teaches the franchisee to the entire business format that he has for his company. And the third type is management franchise. Here, it excludes the management franchise of opportunities to others. In some literatures, they say that there are many other types, especially the 6 types which are here listed below: product and trademark franchise. As it's simply known from the name that in this, franchisees can use the product and the trademark from the franchisor. And the second one is business format franchise. I just mentioned that in first 3 types. Then we see piggyback franchising, and I can say that piggyback is more like a retail type of franchise where you have the right to open more branches in piggyback. Then we have master license. In master license, the franchisor is giving the franchisee an exclusive right to use all his brand and his marks and his products and all what he have. And then we have the multiple unit ownership, where normally multiple ownerships are sold at a reduced price per unit to the franchisee. And the last type is area developer. It's more similar to the multi-unit system type. However, the only difference here is that it involves a greater number of units and smaller units than the multiple unit that we see here. We all see here that we have advantages and disadvantages for franchising. Advantages to franchisor could be many. However, I will mention a few of them, like it helps the everyone can hear me?
Well, I think there's no problem with your voice. I can hear you, and I think the rest can as well.
Thank you, sir. It expands the coverage for the franchisor, and it helps the franchisor with extra income. It also brings initial fee to this franchisor, loyalties and ongoing fees that he receives. Business network of the franchisor expands, and he gets more contracts, and it's less risk for the franchisor. And there are also many advantages for the franchisees in this. Franchisee in this, that's like he receives better brand for his business. He gets a reputation. He gets product. He receives service, and he also gets assistance with the outline design that he will make for his franchisee. He gets equipment, management training, and many other standards that he didn't have before. There are also disadvantages. Everything has advantages and disadvantages. For disadvantages, I will mention for the franchisor that in Afghanistan, normally many of my colleagues see that when you go to businesses and you want to help them even with developing their business plan, they will never share with you the correct information, especially financial information and some of their business secrets. So here, the disadvantage for the franchisor is also like lots of trade secrets that he has to give something away, and then standardization challenges that he will face, and then he will be responsible to monitor the franchisee's performance. If he don't monitor the franchisee's performance, then his reputation will also affect with this. For franchisee also, there are some disadvantages. My colleagues can read what is written in the slide. However, I will simply add in or mention that franchisee, one of the advantage for him is less authority in his business decisions. He has to follow the terms and conditions given to him by the franchisor, and he has to follow franchisor manual here. He is not allowed to develop his own business manual, and he has to pay a fee. He cannot sell franchise without franchisor agreement, and in case he sell it, still he has to pay a fee for that. This slide, how to become a franchisor, and my next slide also will be on this one. I will simply mention that there are many different ways that they say you can become a franchisor, but the 6 steps that they are mentioned here, that is, evaluate your business. If your business is ready, here first you have to look at your business. You have a clear concept. You know more about the financials, that what is needed for becoming a franchisor. You have to do a tough market survey or market analysis before starting, and you should understand that your business, your company, your staff are ready for the change that you are bringing. The second step for becoming a franchisor is that learn the legal requirement. Here I would mention that you have to know about registration as a franchisee, a disclosure of document with Federal Trade Commission, other legal authority. In Afghanistan, if you want to become a franchisor, you have to know more about the legal requirement with ISA, with ACCI, Afghanistan Chamber of Commerce, International and Industries, and others. The third step that is mentioned here, make important decision about your model. In this one, I would say that you have to know about your franchise. You have to know about your concept model, how you are going to start this franchise. You have to learn you have to work on franchisee fee, terms of franchisee agreement, how will you start that. You need to think about location, size, and coverage that you will be given to each of your franchisee. You also need to work on the trainings that you will offer to your franchisees, and at the same time, franchisee must buy product or equipment from you, your company, or he or she will buy her own. How to market the franchisee, because that will also be one of your main objective and goals, to sell more franchisees. Number 5, we have make key hires. This is very crucial for every business, that when you are starting a new model, a new concept, you have to think about hiring. Are you ready to become franchisor first, and then you need to have the right people to help and work with you and your franchisees, and also you are responsible to train your staff to be able to smoothly operate this new model that you are putting there. The step number 6 is sell franchisees. And here again, one of your responsibility or goal is to find franchisees, the right franchisees, and then work on convincing clients to buy your concept and market. You need to think about marketing campaign, where you have to find different ways and different methods to sell more products, to sell more franchise. Here are a couple examples of marks and brands for franchising, which are very famous worldwide. You can see some of the marks, such as McDonald's, that we'll be giving the example in this class. In there is Subway, in many KFC, in many others. We were supposed to leave from slide number 13 onward to Mr. Obaidullah, sir. How much time we have left?
Actually, you have already exceeded your timing, but I did not want to interrupt, and I just want you to finish your slide. But maybe since you asked me, I will suggest that you can just move on a bit faster.
Okay, and then I will lead. Here we have given an example for McDonald's for this. Most of you know that McDonald's is world's largest franchisor, and it is a premier franchising company around the world. McDonald's is very successful because they listen very carefully to its franchisees and people, and they kept great tasting quality fast food, and has opportunity to given opportunity to people who share the same vision of serving great taste. Here you see McDonald's products and their branding, and then again, I will not go in detail on the advantages that McDonald's provides to its franchisees. However, I will just mention that as other model I mentioned before, they also provide international standard trainings to their employees. They provide extensive support to their employees, including supply chain and marketing, and they provide great linkages with suppliers for the great tasting of food taste that they have, and they provide awareness and strong network support too to their franchisees. I will skip this one, and next I would probably mention that if you want to become a McDonald's franchisee, you should have at least $250,000 to buy McDonald's franchise, and that should be your own money. And if you want to open a McDonald's restaurant, then you should have between $685,000 to over $1.5 million. 40% of which should be your own money, and the rest could be loaned. And then the next step, as soon as you complete, you will get a training from McDonald's on how to operate. As a conclusion, I will just mention that franchising is really the need for international community today. As we all see, that world is becoming very small. It's like a village. I can say it's now becoming over even a house or a home, where we can deal easily with each other, with family. So there is a need for franchising, and really as people need each other, companies also need each other. There are globally famous franchising models. I just showed a couple models before, such as McDonald's, KFC, and many others. And franchising actually would be a great deal or a great model for the small, medium, and small enterprises. Even in Afghanistan, we need to give it a try. It's showing up slowly. And we all understand that franchising has given great results internationally, and people really like this new way of business. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Khabib. If anyone has any questions, they can simply post their questions, and otherwise I'm just going to ask my questions. In the meantime, first of all, thank you very much for even giving us some hints regarding the situation in the country where you are from, Afghanistan. And it's pretty good that you just didn't keep it to the context of simply explaining what's there for McDonald's or what's there regarding the franchising on the website only. And thank you for the references as well. However, I just have a few concerns which I just wanted to ask you. One thing which you were saying on, let me just find this slide. Okay, in the main types of franchises, you have on the main types the business format franchise, and again, you're saying that you also brought it in the other 6 as well. in item number 2, which which I don't know if there is any specific reason for that, because these small things do affect the marks, of course, because even the preparation of the slides does matter. Another question which I had from you was regarding okay, you said that in Afghanistan, if you want to start a business, no one will give you the details of their business, or basically the special secret of their business, which is not only in Afghanistan, it's everywhere in the world, and that's what it's called, business. Even Coca-Cola, until today, no one knows about its special recipe of how Coca-Cola is made. And even the other rivals of Coca-Cola that are making the basically the soft drinks, they are buying some of the raw material directly from Coca-Cola, because no one knows what is the content of basically of that raw material which they're buying. So it's something which is not special to any specific country. It's everywhere in the world. I believe that has nothing to do with the disadvantage of a franchise, because like you were explaining that while talking about the risk of loss of valuable trade secrets. That's in fact somehow the opposite of the example which you gave. It's like for example, the risk that is threatening a company like Coca-Cola. So let's imagine that Coca-Cola it has a franchising, like let's say in another country, or let's say in Afghanistan, for example. That company in Afghanistan, who's the official franchisor of Coca-Cola, they will need to have the recipe of how to make that drink. And basically that will be a risk to Coca-Cola. Why? Because that company in Afghanistan, after 10 years, may say, okay, I don't want to work with Coca-Cola anymore, and I want to start to make my own drinks. So that's a risk that basically eventually after a few years, that company can become a competitor to Coca-Cola itself. However, as I said, in general, it was perfectly fine. I really liked it. And even the example which you gave was about a company which we could have predicted, because McDonald's is famous for its franchising. And one other question which I had was to ask you regarding the okay, the avoidance of dispute in your conclusion. If you can explain that.
Yes, sir. And by avoidance of dispute, we mean here that when you start the franchise, and there you have the term in conditions, the agreement signed between the franchisor and franchisee, and that keep the franchisor, the franchisee to follow all what he has signed on with the franchisor. And that also avoid the dispute between the businesses, that decrease the number of disputes. Otherwise, normally we see that even in joint ventures and many other businesses, there are normally disputes between business companies. But in franchising, we see a rail-less model, where we see that there was a dispute between the franchisees.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And we're just going to move on to the next group. However, just one thing. As per my list, the next group will be Mr. Nasrat's group. However, if it's okay with them, the other group of Ms. Nadia, they have requested to go, if it's possible, if they can go before you guys. So if it's okay with you guys, we're just going to have Ms. Nadia's group to go ahead. Okay. Is that okay with you guys? Okay, I'm still not clear with it. Okay, great. So, Mr. Nasrat, please go, and then after that, it'll be Ms. Nadia's group. So, you're gonna be doing the presentation, I think. Okay, so I'm just gonna make you the presenter right now. Okay. And thank you, Ms. Nadia. And hopefully after that, it'll be your group.
Is it? Are you
Yes,
seeing,
I
sir?
can see your slide now. Yes, please start.
Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. With the permission of my teacher and dear class fellows, first of all, I would like to thank our teacher that has given us the opportunity to present our presentation. And as we all know that sir has sent us a guideline regarding to whether choose which topic. I, Mr. Safi Khalaqiyar and Asif Alizada have discussed very thoroughly and finally came to conclusion that we should go through joint venture, and we have shared our ideas and we have collectively worked on this presentation. As our sir mentioned, that we don't have much time, so I have made our presentation very short and very concise. I hope you like my presentation. If anyone has a question, he or she can ask us at the end of the class or maybe during the presentation. Thank you. The table of contents, the object of our joint venture, the topic, as Mr. Javed has presented joint venture as in a very different dimension from different dimension, but we have the object of our presentation is what joint venture is, how joint venture works, success factor of joint venture, risk, advantages, disadvantages of joint venture, steps in formulating joint venture, successful joint venture, failed joint venture leading to take over. These are the main objectives, or as you can see, the table of contents of our presentation. And so, what is joint venture? Before going through definition of joint venture, we should know the selecting and knowing the right partner is very important. As we know that, as Mr. Javed has also said, that it's basically forming a partnership between two or more than two companies. And selecting your partner is very important. If you select the right partner, you will be very successful. If you don't select right partner, then you will face some kind of problem in achieving your goal, which is basically profit in joint venture. Joint venture is a strategic alliance between two or more parties from a partnership to share market, intellectual property rights, assets, knowledge, and profit. The main reason why people do joint venture is to share market, intellectual property right, asset, knowledge, and profit. This is the basic reason that why companies are doing joint venture, and basically it's some kind of outsourcing. One company, for example, if Coca-Cola, for example, if Sony wants to establish his market in India, that company, Sony company must join himself with a very reliable company within India, because that company within India must have a share in market, or you can say it's intellectual property right, assets, knowledge, and profit. And the main reason of joint venture is to gain profit, reasonable profit. Or other reason that joint venture can also occur between two small companies with sole purpose of competing with bigger companies. Another reason why companies do joint venture is that small companies, as we know, that cannot compete with big companies. More than 2 or 3 small companies are coming together, and they form an alliance in order to compete with the bigger companies. For example, if Coca-Cola is dominating or Pepsi is dominating in one area, they are basically dominating in all over the world. But if there is a company within Afghanistan that tries to compete with Coca-Cola, so that company must align himself with other small beverage companies in order to compete with Coca-Cola. So that is another reason why a joint venture is very important for small businesses. And how joint venture works, the below points should be taken into consideration while forming a joint venture. These 3 points must be taken in our consideration before we do joint venture. Never do joint venture with someone you don't know. As I have mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, that we should know our partner very well. So in order, we have to know that who is our partner, and we should have a clear idea what he is giving us. So never do joint venture with someone you don't know. If you go against that, then our joint venture will fail. Your joint venture partners should be complementary, not conflicting. Another factor that the partners should take into point, that they should complement each other, because it's some kind of sort of partnership, and one partner should complement another partner. If one partner is arguing with another partner, so the joint venture will fail, and no one will achieve their goal. Mutual beneficial. They should, when forming a joint venture, there should be mutual. Every company should be mutual beneficial. Because for the main soul of joint venture is to gain profit, and everyone should gain profit according to their share. Success factor of joint venture. These factors should be applied in order to be a successful joint venture. For example, good communication, coordination, and cooperation between partners. Basically, as joint venture is a teamwork, or it's a partnership, good communication, coordination, and cooperation between partners are very important. If partners don't have a coordination or good communication between themselves, so they will fail. Common goal and shared vision among partners. The sole reason of joint venture is achieving a common goal, or your goal can be profit, or your goal can be market, access to the market, share of market. These should be set with these goals should be set by the partners at the beginning of the joint venture. Preparing share of profit and loss. In order to be a successful joint venture, everyone should share profit and loss. It should not be like that. One company should gain more profit, the other should get less profit. So if the profit and loss distribution is not equal, or not according to agreement of joint venture, so then there is a hint of that this joint venture will be failed. Prepare research before incorporating joint venture. This is very important point. Whenever we are going to do a joint venture, we have to research thoroughly our market, our competitors, our partners before going to joint venture. If we consider these 4 factors very carefully, and we follow them, so the company will be success while forming a joint venture. The risk factor of joint venture, as we all know, that joint venture is an agreement between 2 or more than companies. So there is also a risk factor involved in joint venture. Waste of your time. Let go important technology, again, nothing of significance in return. Waste of your time means that if one company decides to go to do joint venture, he is doing research, he is finding partner, he is doing research in the market. When he tries to form a joint venture with the company, at the end that company pulls himself out of that partnership, and he's saying that I don't want to do a partnership with you. So basically this is a waste of our time. Let go of importance technology. As I said before, that joint venture is basically one source of outsourcing. Outsourcing means that for example, if one company is having one technology and the other company wants to access to that technology, so they must work as a joint venture in order to access to that technology. But if the joint venture doesn't work very well, so maybe one company should lose the important technology, gain nothing of significant in returns. If the joint venture is failed, so there is nothing in return. Advantages of joint venture. Basically, there are some advantages of joint venture. As one of our friends asked at the beginning of the presentation of at the end of presentation of Mr. Javed about the advantages of joint venture. Here are some points that points regarding the advantages of joint venture. Helps a company to enter new market or product line. Whenever a company wants to access a new market or enter a new product line, it is best to do joint venture, not go solely in the market. Access to increased resources, expertise, and technology. As I said, that is one type of outsourcing. So basically, everyone can access, everyone can gain from, can access resources, expertise, and technology of each other. Reduce risk due to share profit and loss in case of joint venture. One of the biggest advantages of joint venture is that it reduces risks. For example, if a joint venture is facing losses, so the losses will not divide only on one partner; it divides on the whole partners. So there is a less risk factor in joint venture. Exiting from the business is easy in case of joint venture failure than sole corporation. Another advantage of joint venture is that whenever it's facing failure, so one company can pull himself out of the joint venture very easily, because he say that he may that company may sell his shares to his partner, or he just take out his shares from the joint venture, and it's a little reducing his risk. But then sole corporation. In sole corporation, we know that there is only one owner, and that owner cannot pull his business very easily. It may lead to overtake by partnering company. Another advantage of joint venture is that it can take one company overtake one company by another company. For example, if there is a joint venture between Sony and Ericsson, so at the end, if one decided that Sony wants to overtake Ericsson, so he can buy that company as a whole. So this is another advantage of joint venture. Disadvantages of joint venture, as there are advantages of this joint venture partnership, there are disadvantages. Time consuming and difficult to set up joint venture. It's very time consuming, as you have to do research, you have to find your partner, you have to research about the market, and it's difficult to set up joint venture. Difficult to set up by joint venture, it means that agreeing on your agreement. One company may say that I have the best resources, I have the best technology, so I can have more profit. Another company say I have access to market, I have labor force, so I will take a bit more profit. So basically, there is some kind of difficult to set up joint venture. Difference in culture or management style may lead to lack of cooperation and coordination. Yes. Difference in culture or management style may lead to lack of cooperation and coordination. It's another disadvantage of joint venture. For example, if Panasonic wants to do joint venture in India, so that the Panasonic company must adapt according to the culture or management style of that Indian company. So basically, there are a little bit maybe they face a conflict regarding the style and cooperation coordination. This is another disadvantage of joint venture. Lack of full research before joint venture may lead to failure. As I'm very emphasizing on research, it's very important to, in order to form a joint venture, or we have to do a research very thoroughly. We have to identify our market, we have to identify our resources. Everything is very important. If we cannot do research very properly, then there is every chance that our joint venture could face failure. A step in formulating joint venture, there are 4 steps that we should take into consideration before going to joint venture. First, we have to do planning. Second, partner research, feasibility study, and cooperation. In planning, we have to specific goal and objectives. It means that for what purpose, what are our main objectives and our goals that we are doing this joint venture. Determining the product and market. It means we have to determine which product in which product we have to joint venture in which market. Market analysis is very important. Before forming any type of business, market analysis is very important. Technology requirement, we have to identify what are the technology requirements that we need. Or financial requirement, foreign exchange rate, HR skills, revenue, SWOT analysis. These processes should be done while planning our joint venture. At the second step, we have to do partner research. In order to be successful, we have to identify a very successful partner. To find out the successful partner, we have to do research, and we have to take these points into our consideration. Financial resources of our partner. For example, if we want to do a joint venture, what are the financial resources of our partner? How much? Do our partner have that financial backing in order to do our joint venture? Technology know-how. What technology he is offering, our partnering company is offering, and how he is utilizing that technology. Market presence. What is the market share of that company? Management style, organization culture. Which type of organizational culture or management style he wants to prefer. Types of organization style is also taken into consideration. Visibility study of your partner and whether our partner is successful in his current market or not. This is the partner research. After partnering research, we have to study visibility study. Cost of benefit analysis. Whenever we are cost of benefit analysis means that while forming our joint venture, we have to analyze that whether this joint venture is beneficial for us or not, whether we are gaining profit from this joint venture or not. If not, so there is no need to do joint venture. Environment analysis of joint venture in the market. We have to study the marketplace, the area that we are investing or we are doing joint venture. Growth prediction. It means that if we do joint venture, what are the chances of our product that our product will grow. The incorporation means it is the final steps of joint venture. And foreign and local enterprise, it means that one foreign and one local enterprise can do joint venture. Forming new enterprise, or it means that you establish a new company and corporation. These are the 4 steps that while a company wants to do joint business and joint venture, these 4 factors should be taken into consideration. The successful joint venture are like Volvo, HR, and Tata Docomo. Failed joint venture are Yamaha, Ford. Joint venture leading to take over partners, as I mentioned before in my presentation. A advantage of joint venture that one company can overtake another company, like Honda. Hero was like Honda overtaken by Hero, or Virgin Tata was overtaken by Tata. These were the successful joint venture, failed joint venture, and the reason why joint venture is can overtake one partner and another partner. Sir, due to lack of time, sir, this was made briefly presentation. So I hope that my class fellow got my point of view. And at the end, I also like to thank my dear group member, Mr. Asif and Falakya, that they have. Without them, it was impossible to prepare this topic, sir. Thank you. If anyone has a question, sir, I'm open to answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nasrat. Due to the shortage of time, we're not going to elaborate much on the questions. The slides, it was simple, to the point, and pretty much well organized, and thank you very much for that. Just one point which I wanted to mention throughout the, that I noticed throughout the slide was that I think there was a slight misunderstanding which I wanted to clear out. Joint venture is not outsourcing. Joint venture can even be a collaboration between two local companies, basically just working in the same field and without having to outsource anything or any part of their operation. Of course, outsourcing may be a form of joint venture as well, but it's not necessarily joint venture. That's the only thing
yes,
which I wanted to say.
I understand that, but last week I have asked this question from you, and you said that it's one type of outsourcing. For example, if one company don't have technology, so they may do joint venture, and both partner companies can outsource each other, sir. So
yes.
Yes.
You are correct. You have asked me this question, and I have answered you. And just as I said right now, it can be part of a joint venture. It can be, yes. And we can come up with many examples. But I'm saying that it's not necessarily. We cannot necessarily say that every joint venture is outsourcing.
Okay, sir.
But in general, it was very good, and thank you very much for your efforts. So, if there's anything else you wanted to mention, it's okay. If not, we'll move to the next group, which is unfortunately we have to say last group as well due to the shortage of time, which will be Ms. Nadia's group. And I apologize for the other groups that did not have the time to present in this session due to the shortage of time, as I said, and I don't want to drag this session because it's Ramadan, and I know that all of us, we need to prepare ourselves for the iftar and the prayers as well. So if there isn't anything else that you want to discuss, I can just move to Ms. Nadia's group.
No, sir, there isn't anything to discuss, sir. If my class fellows have a question, I'm open. Otherwise, Ms. Nadia can proceed, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So, so we're just going to move to Ms. Nadia.
Sir, before moving to Ms. Nadia, should I send you the slides because we have already sent you the slides, or?
No, you have. No, I already have your slides. In case if you think you have made any changes, yes, please send me. However, if you did not make any changes, it's okay.
There is no changes, sir, in my slides.
Okay, perfect. It's okay. I don't need it. Thank you very much.
Okay. And I have also mentioned my group member, sir, in the beginning of the slide, sir.
Yes, that's no problem. I have it. You mentioned in your email as well. Okay, so Ms. Nadia, your group, will you be giving the presentation or someone else? Okay, so I'm gonna make Ms. Nadia the presenter, and okay, Ms. Nadia, you're the presenter now. Until the time she starts uploading her PowerPoint slides, let me just point out one thing I noticed from some of the chats. I think one or two of the students, they have not, I don't know, for some very strange reason, they have not had any clue about the assignment. I have sent the email twice to everyone, and I made sure that I send it to everyone who even receives the link, invitation link to the class. So basically, all the students should be receiving the email. However, just in case, if you have not received it, you have my email address. Send me an email and inform me, because we will have to have some of the presentations to be done next week, so you can present as well next week. No, I cannot stop the class. I'm sorry. If anyone wants to leave, it's up to them. Ms. Nadia's presentation will be the last presentation for today. So, and she's the presenter. So, Ms. Nadia, please start right now. It's okay. It's okay if anyone, I understand. If there's, especially the ones who have already given the presentation, if it's the time for iftar in your place, it's okay. You can leave. It's no problem. But it's just to respect your fellow students.
One thing I would like to ask, sir, do you give us marks, sir, in this regarding these presentations, or no? Just
sorry, I didn't get your question.
Sir, will you send us our marks? You told at the beginning of the class.
Yes, I will email it to you by next week.
Our marks, sir, regarding this presentation.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I will, because I will have to go through your presentations in detail. So please just give me some time. By next week,
Okay,
you will have your marks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Ms. Nadia, you were asking how you can upload. There is a share tab on top, and then please click on share, and then go on file, choose your file, and then you can just bring it up.
Students, for today's presentation is joint venture. It was a group work, and I really appreciate my group members for their efforts and contributions. Okay, there were many definitions for joint venture, but we have chosen only some common and simple ones. Joint venture means to achieve integrated strategies. A joint venture is a business arrangement in which a number of parties agree to work together in pursuit of a business or in a relation to a specific project. Each party will have different interests in the joint venture and different responsibilities. So joint venture is an agreement between two companies. They will have their own responsibilities and they will have their own interests in a specific project. It means that the project should be specific and the product should be the same. Reasons for establishment of the joint venture: government policy and legislation. One reason for the joint venture can be government policy and legislation, as the government has its direct impact on the business. One partner's needs for other partners' skills. One partner's needs for other partners' attributes or assets enable business to reach new markets and gain new knowledge and new market ideas. It can be able to double capital for the business. Range of strategy alliances. The range of strategy alliances, this is agreement between two companies while they are doing joint venture. Okay, here we have level of interaction and type of agreement. The level of interaction will be low and will be high, and also the competition will be low and high. If we have low competition and low level of interaction, then the cooperation agreement will be signed between two companies. If we have a high level of interaction and high level of competition, so then patent licensing. The strategic alliances will be patent licensing, or we can say allowing other companies to produce the product by the logo and trademarks of another company. It means the one company will get the license for the other company. One company will be called licensor and the other company will be called licensee. This period of joint venture will be short, maybe 1 year or maybe 2 years, and the licensee doesn't have the authority to extend the license. The only authorized party will be the licensor to extend the duration of the joint venture. Next, we have franchising. If we have high level of interaction and a high level of competition, then franchising will be started. The one company will be franchising and the second company will be franchisor. The franchisor has the authority to give the licensor to have a decision or make decision regarding the business. Next, we have cross licensing. If the level of interaction is so high and the level of competition is high, then we have cross licensing. It means that one company can give license to many companies in different countries. Then we have research and development consortia. Consortia means agreement. Here, the two companies will have joint venture only to the extent of research and development for the new product. They will have an agreement only when they have research and development for a product. Then we have co-production buyback. When the level of interaction is high and competition level is high, then two companies will do joint venture by the name of scope production. Buyback, it means that when we have the company A and company B, the company A has the assets, cash, financially weak, and the second company has machinery, technical assistance, resources. So the company B will start the production, and at the end, based on the agreement that they have, they will, and in company B will keep 5% or 10% of the finished goods as a fee. And the third one is equity joint venture. As it's clear from the name, both companies will have their joint venture equally share assets, share financially share, and also they will give time equally to the joint venture. Okay, types of international joint venture. Here we have few types of international joint venture, such as traditional equity joint venture. Two partners from two different countries, they can have their joint venture. Binational, two partners from two different countries set up a venture in a third country. Intraparent, two foreign subsidiaries of the same multinational enterprises. And cross-national, two partners of the same nationality venture located in a different country. Traditional equity joint venture, two partners from two different countries. For example, one company from Afghanistan and one country from Pakistan, they can have their joint venture. Binational, two partners from two different countries, one company from Malaysia and one country from Afghanistan, they can have their joint venture and start a new business.
Ms. Nadia, sorry to interrupt again. I'm hearing your voice pretty low. If you can speak louder again, please.
Okay, sure, sir. Tri-national joint venture, two partners from two different countries. For example, one country from Afghanistan and one country from India. They can set up a joint venture in Malaysia. This is tri-national joint venture. Intraparent, two foreign subsidiaries of the same multinational enterprise. For example, Coca-Cola company, they have joint venture with Habib Gulzar in Afghanistan. They can start their business in Pakistan too. Cross-national, two partners of same nationality venture located in a different country. Okay, two partners of the same nationality. For example, there are two construction companies from Afghanistan. They do joint venture, and they start their joint venture or business, for example, in Tajikistan. Motives for international joint venture formula. There are some motives or some reasons for international joint venture. We have here existing market, new market, existing product, and new product. While we have existing market and existing product, the motives of the reason for the international joint venture formulation is to strengthen the existing business. If we have existing markets and new products, so we take the existing market. When we have existing market and new product, then we bring the foreign products to local market. Again, if we have new market and new products, so it means that we diversify into a new business. The same if we have the existing product and new market, the motive or reason for the joint venture is to take existing products to a new market. That was the motive or reason for international joint venture. Okay, while two companies or three parties have joint venture, we will have some outcomes for the joint venture, which is as follows: financial and computational strategies. We'll have short-term joint venture, clarify expectation and discuss problems early on. It means that when we have short-term joint venture, all the expectations should be discussed before, all the problems should be discussed and shared before. Contingency plans should be in place. Market downturn, okay, maybe the market is down, or maybe the revenue is low, or maybe even the joint venture losses. So everything should be clear at the beginning. All the goals and objectives and strategies for the short-term joint venture should be in place before. long-term joint venture may help create a strong competitor. Long-term joint venture can result a strong competitor. The two countries will work together. They can be a strong competitor against the other competitors. Have partners plan for an executive strategy jointly independently, or maybe they have a plan for executive strategy. They may work jointly, or they can work independently. Lock-in can damage economic performance. It means that sometimes the government policies and procedures can damage the economic performance of the joint venture. The next item is learning strategies, partners' desires versus abilities, trial runs warm-up. The partners can see their desire and their abilities, and also they can, if the joint venture is successful, then they can go ahead, they can run their business, or this joint venture can be a warm-up for the next joint venture for the both companies. Exploitation versus acquisition of useful knowledge. Sometimes instead of working together, they can start competing with each other. Instead of using the knowledge, instead of gaining the new knowledge, they will start competing with each other. Effective knowledge management. And sometimes the joint venture results as effective knowledge management for them. They will have more information, or they can gain new ideas about the market. Okay, now I request Virgula to go ahead with the next slide. Hello? Riaz, can you hear me? Hello? Riaz?
Yes, I'm hearing. Okay, thank you, Ms. Nadia. Yeah, we'll start. Thank you, sir, and thank you to Ms. Nadia and all of my group members for giving me the chance. We have short time, so I will start fast because we have left just a few minutes. Sony Ericsson, basically they have this joint venture. So Sony, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sony was an electronic company and Ericsson was a mobile telecommunication leading company. So they just started to do a joint venture and they started their business. So Ericsson is a leading mobile telecom and internet communication company, and it has branches and operation in more than 140 countries. So it's a multinational company, and it's a vendor company which is creating the software which are using in the mobile and the communication technology companies. And Sony is the leading company in the manufacture of audios, videos, communication, information technology product for the consumer and potential market. It means that Sony is an electronic company which is creating like television, like electronic boards and everything which is related to the electronics market and the media. For example, they want to, Sony has a specialty in video cameras and audios, everything. So they start to do a joint venture business. So can you change the slide, Ms. Nadia? I can move to. How can I change the slide?
I can. Yeah, it's not changed. I don't know what's the reason.
Sir, can you give me the permission to share my own presentation?
It's okay.
Okay,
It's
example.
Okay.
Okay, example is yes. Okay. Sony Ericsson. Okay, thank you, sir. Sony Ericsson is a joint venture by the Japanese consumer. It means that the Sony was a company of the Japanese and the Ericsson is a Swedish company. So both of them were electronic companies and both of them have some specialties in some parts. So Ericsson has a specialty to make mobile phones, and the stated reason for this venture is to combine Sony consumers' electronic expertise with Ericsson's technological leadership in the communication sector. As I told you before, that Ericsson is a telecom company and they create mobile, and Sony was is also electronic company, but they are the specialty in the cameras and audio videos. So they both start to join a product to take some technological leadership in the sector. So then they start the business. But now, for some reason, both of them have stopped to preparing their mobile. Before this, when they started the joint venture, they have created their mobile with the name of Sony Ericsson. And I think all of you are aware of this mobile, and maybe some of you have used this kind of mobile, Sony Ericsson. The name of the mobile was Sony Ericsson, and it was a very branded mobile. When it came to the market in 2001, they started their business. But after 2009, so they stopped their working because Sony wants to purchase 50% of the market share of the Ericsson, but Ericsson was not for Ericsson it was not acceptable to give them the 50% of the shares to Sony company. So that's why they broke their joint venture partnership. Can you change the slide, Ms. Nadia? Yeah. The objectives of when they start the joint venture, the objectives of the Sony and the Ericsson. So the main aim of Sony Ericsson as a Sony, I mean both companies. The main aim of both companies, Sony Ericsson, is the world leading position in the mobile phone. So they want to create a mobile phone which has the differentiating innovation features. And it was when they launched their mobile Sony Ericsson, it has a lot of differentiating features like excellent cameras and internet. You can use the internet and everything inside, and they have some special applications which were available through their mobile. And to bring new innovation with new product or existing product development. So they want to develop this mobile phone. So and at that time there was the business of the mobiles were like not too fast. So the mobiles which were existing in the market was not like Sony Ericsson's when they created their mobile, and it has a digital voice and it has a digital cameras. So they start their operation. And to take the high rate and stock turnover and the annual base. So this was also the main objective of the Sony and Ericsson company. Can you change the slide, Ms. The strategies. The strategies of Sony Ericsson was to hit the market and get a top position rival in the industry. Rival means the competitors. So in the industry there was a lot of competitors like Nokia, like Alcatel, like Chinese mobiles. So they want to take the top position. So that's why they created the Sony Ericsson mobile. And the economic growth by providing good services with high standard and value. So they also want to grow their economy by providing these good services like creating the high quality of Sony Ericsson mobiles. So this was also the strategies of the Sony Ericsson. The advantages. To provide companies with the advantages of the,
sorry, Mr. Riyadullah, just one thing I wanted to interrupt. It's been already 16 minutes, so if you can just try to wrap up a bit earlier, that'll be perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you, sir. The advantage to provide companies with opportunity to gain new capacity and expertise, as before Ms. Nadia explained, allow companies to enter related businesses or new geographic market or gain new technological knowledge. It means to go to the new market and take something like expertise. Ericsson has expertise in technology, and Sony has expertise in electronics, like audio, videos, cameras. So that's created. That was the advantage for both of them. Access to greater resources, including specialized staff and technology. So Ericsson has a specialized technology staff because they are creating the mobile software. Also, Sony has staff, specialized staff in electronic, like cameras, as I explained. And sharing of risk with a venture partner. It means when you are going to the other markets, so you can share the risk if you are facing the risk in the business. The sources which we have taken this information. So these are the sources from where we have taken this information and we collected the information. So thank you very much, sir, for giving us the chance to explain our government.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Nadia, and also to you as well, sir. And if there's not any questions from anyone else, let's just conclude this session. It was a well organized slide, and thank you very much for it. Just one thing for those of you, again, and I will mention, for those of you who already sent me the email, and I know your groups that we did not have the chance to do the presentation today, you will do it next week, and I'm sorry for what happened because it's out of my hand. However, for those of you who have not sent me any email and were not even aware of the assignment, please send me an email. I will make sure that I have your email and that you receive everything, because basically this is 25 marks of your final grade, so I'm sure you don't want to miss this. So please send me an email and just make sure that maximum by next week you do give your presentation. Otherwise, you will receive 0 marks for this assignment. So if there is no questions for now, I will just conclude the session, and we'll hopefully meet up next session. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.